Okay, students, here we go. We are still constructing the 3 panels. We've got them all glued up, we've got them planed, surface sanded, cut to size. Now we're shaping the 3 edges of the top, and we need to shape our raised panels. So we're going to show you that today. Then we're ready for graphics for those 3 panels. Have to figure out what we're putting on for graphics. Then after that, we are ready to construct the rails and stiles and then put the doors together. So here we go. Let me put this on the head and I'll take you over to the shaper. All right, so I've got my top here. I've ran the first pass of the bit, brand new bit. I put it in a few minutes ago. Took this one out, wanted to show you a couple things. This was a 1/4 inch collet, 1/4 inch shank, right? This one was a 1/2 inch, so I had to switch out the collet as well to a twice that big hole in the collet for that bit. I also had to switch out the throat plate, okay? Got a bunch of different throat plates. This one was fine for the last bit. Had to go with the bigger hole for the bigger bit. So you can see we've got a whole bunch of throat plates here. Got a special tool that takes it out. Okay, so you have to size your throat plate according to how big your bit is for this Kreg system. All right, then you know, once I get it in there, I line up the fence to the bearing there, so our part runs right along the bearing and the fence. I want to remind you, when we're cutting against the grain, you best face down, right? Because that'll be our top. We want to take this thing through, and we'll chase it the last inch with the chaser board, okay? And then we work our way around. Now, I've already cut this once, so my chaser board may not do me much good, but first time to run the bit, and I think I've got the correct depth on this this pass, so we'll give it a shot here. Let me put my hearing protection on. Here we go. Always in grain first. This is how you'll run it with the chaser block on that last couple inches. I need a bigger table, don't I, for this big a piece? We may have to work in pairs, have a partner. Shaping only 3 edges. The back edge does not get shaped. Keep our table clean. Last couple inches with the chaser block. There we have it. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that looks better. I wanted a nice, close to an 1/8 inch lip there. That's a nice shape to our top. And once again, we don't do the back side, right? Different Roman OG bit on this one. I kind of like that one better, but I couldn't find it. This one will look just fine. Okay, we're ready for some graphics. So the top is done. Let's go do our raised panels over here. I've ran the first pass on the first one. right? You can see we got a ways to go. Still see my relief cut there. Best face down, in grain first, and we work our way around. From our last panels on the mini cedar chest, we do this in 3 passes because we're taking so much material, and this is hard red oak. We found it to be safer to not try to hog it off in 1 pass. So I'm leaving a little bit room for the next pass, or the last pass. Still got that split in there. I'm worried about that. I may have to get some glue in there later. Okay, in grain first. Let's keep our table clean. Here we go, pass number 2. You may have noticed I'm not chasing this with a chaser board, and that relief cut helps to make the difference there when we're going across the grain. Okay, let's use our straight edge and set up for the final pass, which hits the bushing. Should be right there. That's good enough. Let's try it. In grain first. Pretty good. No relief cut left. As you can see, our system here, the vent doesn't keep all the dust up, but we've got a place over here to sweep it, so that helps. Wanted to show you something here real quick. When we're on the first and second pass, you notice on the third pass we're lined up with the bushing, so it's easier to run it. But on that first and second pass we have to be extra careful because we don't have that bushing. Why that's not moving for me. I want to come forward. Sorry. That's a pretty big distance there, right? with this narrow of a board. We like to have at least 10 inches on the fence, but this is only 7.5 inches. So you got to be careful you don't let it go inside. You got to stay lined up, right? Can't let that back corner come away from the fence, or we could have troubles, right? So you're holding this thing tight, watching that back edge, keeping that back edge tight against the fence, and you won't have any issue. It tries to suck you in a little bit because of that big bit, okay? So the last one, when we have the bushing, it cuts that distance in half, so it's a little easier to run, okay? But the first two, you got to watch that back edge, keep it tight to the fence. If you're tight to the fence, you'll be just fine. All right, so there's our two panels for our doors. And yeah, we do have a crack there that it looks like I better get some glue in there and clamp that down. But we've got our two door panels. Next, we'll be making the rails and stiles and assembling the doors together. Before we do that though, we got to consider what we want for graphics. So there's the three panels of the nightstand. We'll see you next time.